Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Twitter space. I'm just going to give it a few minutes until everybody will join us. We have a very special guest today, Smart Places Protocol. They have a catalyst proposal, and we're really looking forward to hear from them. So yeah, just give it a couple minutes, and we're going to get the show started here. We're still waiting for Bjorn and Hank to join us. So if you guys in the meantime would like to share the space and get more people involved here, we should be starting shortly. I'm just waiting for them to log in so we can get this the show going.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for letting me speak.
Good
Are you
morning,
gonna be talking
Dr.
about
Good morning.
Hey, do you have a specific proposal that you're going to be talking about here?
We will be talking about Smart Places protocol. Yes, they're just coming up as a speaker. Is there anything you would like to share with us?
Not at this time. I'd like to take a look at the proposal and share it and see what you got going on. And get some people in here to take part of it. So I was going to retweet it with a link to the proposal.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to be posting it pretty soon up here. Bjorn, Hank, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Theodore.
Hi, Theodore. Nice to meet you. Thanks for having us.
This is going to be a very exciting space. I've been really looking forward to it since Andrew talked to me about this this project. I've been very excited and really looking forward to hear what you guys are doing under the hood. And it's definitely the very first one. So how do you guys meet, and how do you come up with the idea of Smart Places protocol?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having us. Very excited to join your Twitter space. So first of all, thanks for that. Well, Hong and Björn, both the co-founders. We both were born and raised in Berlin, so we know each other since school. And we both have both corporate backgrounds. And I think it's like 3 to 4 years ago, where we were just discussing general discussions about social media. And as you know, we are living here in Berlin, the metropolitan. But despite all the million people here in Berlin, we thought that it's still difficult to connect with other people who are directly around you. Yeah. And so we thought that there has to be a mobile app which enables people to connect to each other at the same time, at the same place, in a very secure and uncomplicated manner, without having a profile and disclosing many private information. Yeah. So I think it's like 3 to 4 years ago, and having discussed this idea with so many friends and with other business partners, which also got inspired by this idea, we met some blockchain experts. Lars, who's also our advisor. Yeah, and from that day on, I think it's now 2.5 years ago, we totally think that we have found a perfect product, which we can produce or develop in order to bring some value to the society. And from my side, maybe one word to my background. I've been working for like 10 years as an asset manager, having managed assets with a total volume of more than $1 billion. And now for 2.5 years, I'm fully dedicated to the Smart Places protocol. So I left my job, putting all my spendings into this project, and from then on, I dedicated my whole time into this project. So this from my side, and maybe Björn can say something about his experience.
Yeah, thanks, Theodor. Also from my side again, thanks for having us. We're also totally excited. What Hung said, totally agree. We have this big vision of bringing people together in real life, and we think we have found a charming solution for that. To me personally, I have a legal background and also founded some companies in the past. Was specialized on data privacy and compliance, also IT development. And yes, with Hung together, we founded then Smart Places. I'm the CEO. And of course, all the legal challenges, let's say it that way, that come across, I'm in charge of that then.
This is amazing. I wanted to tell you guys for quite a while now, since I checked your website. It's actually a really cool website with so much information, so easy to read everything. Kudos to you guys for that. It was actually so easy for me, to answer every question that I would have. So 2.5 years you're working on this project, is that correct?
Exactly. Also,
No, I just wanted to ask you, like, how many people you have right now on your team. It's been 2.5 years, so I'm assuming like you've done a lot of research before you actually start building anything. What was the journey looking like?
Exactly. So our core team is like 5 people, but on our website, as you see, we have like 12 to 14 people, which everybody has a complementary skill. And when you looking backwards to the whole process, it was like an iterating process. First, diving into this whole blockchain world as and still, it's like a black box for the normal user. In order to, when you try to explain it to your mother, what is the benefits of blockchain, it's still so difficult. Yeah. So when we go way back, like 2.5 years, the first year was like, or the first 2 years was like finding on concepting this whole idea, how this would fit into this whole concept of bringing people together, we had a big focus that everything is very fundamental and based on simple reasons. Why do we need a token? What does it mean to have a decentralized solution? And what is decentralization? How can the users who contribute to the creating of a network can be included, which is somehow also a deviation from the traditional business setup, and getting to internalize all these mental stuff was like a process which took us a long time, but we took the time because we think that the project, what we try to achieve, we want to have a real world mass adoption. And also we think that the blockchain idea can be so revolutionary. And if we have a mobile application, a platform which connects people in an easy manner, which is easily perceived by also non-crypto users, we said that it's very crucial to have a clear structure, clear communication, how all belongs together. And in order to show also to the normal people how beautiful and revolutionary this whole blockchain thing is. And it all starts with, of course, also with tokens, which is somehow the concept of, which captures the value of the network, which cannot always be foreseen at the start. But everybody who contributes or takes part in this whole, of building this whole network as an early adopter will benefit from this in a later stage. So this is like a win-win situation. And Björn, maybe you want to add something?
Just to also clarify that, because when we are speaking about years, right? So that's exactly what Hung is saying. We have these both worlds, right? So because we are working on the project even longer than 2.5 years, but starting with a mobile application and with the idea of bringing people together in real life, but they don't have to be based on blockchain. This aspect came later. And as Hung said, it's a totally new world has been for us, of course, and enabled so many and offers so many opportunities we haven't thought on before. And combining these both worlds, that's what we have especially done the last 2 years then. And so you see it's a long way. And as you like you mentioned, we have done a lot of research, asked a lot of people, have spoken with a lot of people, because finally it's a community project, right? We want to have on board all the people that help us, because they finally it's also an advantage for everybody, right? Because finally everybody in the world is supposed to use that, because being together and connecting in real life, that should work everywhere.
So how did you manage to actually combine blockchain and social media? And how will that look like for the end user when the project is ready to go?
So how do we manage this? If you imagine how all those social media platforms evolved, this is like all the users are contributing to this ecosystem for free. But at the end, if you have a service for free, then you are the product, this is called. And so I can imagine that people are maybe complaining that they don't have a cut on all those evolving networks. And what we said is, okay, when we have an idea to build a platform which is also beneficial for the users, then why don't have the users participate in the gains? If this network is developed to a certain stage where we have reached mass adoption. So we think this is a totally new approach of, let's say, organizational structuring, which is very exciting for us. So the interpretation of this word decentralization. On the one hand side, the participation in gains, which is captured in the token value, but also the governance issue. Because when you see at all those traditional Web 2.0 platforms, the rules are somehow set by the issuer, by the developer. So when we think about decentralized governance, for example, we leave it to the community in which direction those, for example, the use cases can be applied. So we say, for example, the existing models, for example, when you see what are the apps which are able to connect people. Those are dating apps, but from our view, it's just one single use case. There are so many other use cases which can be applied to connect people. And that's where we say, okay, leave it to the community, or also let them participate in the decision making. What is in the end a perfect environment to connect with each other? And this is why we call this smart place, because the definition of a smart place is left to the end user at the end. Whether he uses this for connecting with other people in the park to spontaneously play volleyball or so, or at the co-working space to connect with another co-worker to go to lunch together. So there are endless use cases, and we leave it like to the community deciding which use case they want to apply or have this network used for.
Maybe to add also from my side, regarding the data monetization, I don't know if you have seen that aspect already. That also we are here partnering with the Ocean Protocol, which what really makes us proud. So decentralized solution, decentralized data marketplace. Yes, and we embed that so we can offer our users opportunity to monetize their data if they opt in. So totally free, same of course actually to the ads. And we are also using a decentralized cloud service regarding moderation, because we don't want to moderate opinions, and we don't want to hinder free speech, and that's why we are using here also a decentralized way. Just to add also this aspect.
Thank you so much for that. I do have a lot of questions, but I just want to say really quick for our audience, whoever would like to ask any questions, feel free at any time to request to be a speaker. I'm pretty sure a lot of you will definitely have quite a few things to ask Bjorn and Hank here. With that being said, I just wanted to really real quick ask you. So the challenge that you're trying to really cover here is make the social media decentralized, and in a sense that my data or our data will actually be used. We will be decided on how they're going to be used, and we will be earning tokens for that. What else are you trying to accomplish with that, and what is your end goal?
Yeah, our focus is also, or our main focus is also, that we have a closed ecosystem, meaning that not only that we want to offer data privacy and data sovereignty, but also we were thinking about how does money comes into this whole ecosystem, and also in a decentralized manner. So people who are contributing in this network and building this network, we were thinking about what kind of businesses, how revenues can come into the ecosystem. And there we start. Our main focus is also on data monetization, where we were looking for the respective partnerships, and that's why we have partnered with Ocean Protocol. And maybe one sentence regarding this: we were working like 10 months discussing with Ocean Protocol, convincing them, and so running this whole due diligence process, because we thought that this would be only fair to offer a product where we also can offer that we have some revenues right from the start for the users, right? And of course, the other revenue streams are like advertisement and local businesses which want to target those smart places, those crowded places. What else?
And we have this, let's say, small aspect, the land plot sale. I mean, I'm just kidding. That's of course for us also absolutely important. As you maybe or if you might heard, we start that in some weeks, and preparing that right now. So this is also an element of this ecosystem, so that we map the world in hexagons, and finally people can or will be able to buy these land plots. So smart places in this regards also has another kind of level, right? So the land plot level, which makes the ecosystem quite exciting in our opinion.
So yeah, I saw about the NFT land plots. So we're gonna have a metaverse inside the social media verse kind of thing. Is it all gonna be combined into one? And I don't know, can I use my NFT as an emoji later down the road?
It's more, yeah, it's more, yeah, Björn.
So yeah, basically it's as I said, right? So the world is mapped in these hexagons, and these hexagons, these are land plots, are a piece of the real world. So you as a land plot holder, you are rewarded if social interactions happens in the real world at that land plot. So we incentivize and reward users if they connect with each other, but also the land plot holders if social interactions happen on their land plot. So that means there comes, of course, then the question on what are then the best land plots. So that will be these land plots where a lot of people will interact with each other, right? So now we have in the community a lot of discussions, and it's just amazing to see that, and totally exciting to see the discussions. What land plot will be the best one? For the one, it's a crowded park. For the other one, it's a mall or kind of landmark in a city, in a capital. Yeah, we are following these discussions and are totally excited what land plots finally the users were trying to choose.
Quasar, thanks for coming up. I know you have a question that you'd like to ask.
Yeah, thank you. Trying to lower my hand here. Is there a proposal in Project Catalyst, or have you applied for funding through there yet?
To be honest, not yet. We are working on this, but we have not issued an offer to this Project Catalyst. But I think we have prepared something, and we wanted to have this reviewed by the team before submitting this.
So this will be for a Fund 9, is that correct? What your...
Yeah, there are several funds, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't get the question. Sorry again.
So are you planning to have this idea proposal for the next round of Catalyst, or are you planning of actually executing everything without being in the Catalyst, without having a proposal in there?
Yeah, to be honest, we didn't have made our mind regarding this Project Catalyst. We were totally focused that to implement this by ourselves.
Yeah, that's the main focus now. You know, we have a tough time, 3 weeks until the first stage is starting. So that's the main focus right now. But as we said, there are coming up some other steps. In total, it will be 80K NFTs, right? So some time.
Okay. And if I may ask, do you mind giving us a little bit more information regarding the token and how is that going to work? And as an end user, how am I able to use that?
Yeah, for sure. So the main concept, what we call connect to earn, is that first that we have like a reserve for rewarding users who engage in activities in this whole network and contribute, that they are rewarded with those tokens. And regarding the token utility, we have made a long period of time making our minds which token utility we have, because we have so many of those. So, for example, we have the staking mechanism. We have the X as a token as an access function, and also considering all those ecosystem partners like businesses, that they also have the possibility to get those tokens in order to use special functions and privileges in this whole platform. Also, we have this buyback mechanism, where we say that all this revenue which is coming to the ecosystem will be then with the buyback mechanism coming back to this to the system. And of course, this governance function, where we say that for crucial decisions that we will include the community. So
furthermore, we have kind of, I mean, it's not a direct utility, but I think an interesting aspect, a kind of guidance functionality, right? Because as it's possible for landlord holders, but also for in general holders of the token to incentivize users for doing things. So we often have in mind the cleaning the beach case, you know. So just imagine you're at the beach and you decide to clean it up with the people who are around you. Then you would be able to incentivize these users if they join you and help to clean up the beach. So this kind of incentives that people can, also the users can initiate, but also businesses could, like restaurants that say they want to guide users to their place, you know. And actually the same occurs for other tokens of other projects, right? Because as we are totally locally based, it's a perfect way to, in a fairly manner, distribute also their tokens, you know. So I think this is an interesting aspect.
That's amazing. I do have more questions, but I know we have a few speakers that came up here that would like to ask some questions. Let's start with Crypto Jed, and then we can go with Lawal Aga Musa and Hardeep next. So Crypto Jed, the mic is yours.
All right, can y'all hear me?
yeah, hi,
Yeah.
CryptoJet.
Yep.
Okay, I'm just wondering, like, once the app is actually launched and everything, how do people that currently own a business, how will they get their business or their advertising or whatever actually onto the Smart Places protocol?
Yeah. So the app is coming in summer. In a few months, we will have our mobile app launch. As we are starting here also from Berlin, Germany, and in general in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, talking to businesses, which where we have started the talks like 1.5 years ago. Yeah, you can imagine this whole process that it's not that easy to talk with like bars, restaurants, and clubs and co-working spaces when it comes to blockchain and crypto. Yeah, and that's why we have our special co-workers or team member in our team who has a very exclusive access to those sectors, yeah, and doing many educational lessons and talks, and those businesses this will be like showcases where we show that how businesses can access this whole system and how they and in which manner. For example, we will also develop a dashboard, which is later on accessible on a scalable level. But on the first level, we start with some businesses and locations where we have talked like more than 1 year now, in order to show to other businesses how this all can work. And at the end, it's like from the business side, buying tokens. Those tokens are put into in like a vault, yeah, and under certain conditions, which is set by those businesses, those tokens can be distributed and can be collected by the users they want to target.
Yeah. Also, just to add that, there will be in place some, of course, campaign managers from our side that supports that, because we are, of course, aware that, like Hung said, of course, a lot of businesses might not be used to work in this manner. But yeah, we are from our side aware of that as well, and so we will have special contact persons for that. And what we also have, our strategic partners we have, so like Advanced Store, for example, as a mobile advertisement company and specialized in that, they are absolutely important as well, because they have the direct connections in making, for example, these mobile ads, which then can be displayed here in the app and within the ecosystem.
All right, that sounds good. I've got a bunch more questions, but I'm gonna let other people go ahead and ask their questions, and I'll jump back in.
All right.
Thanks, CryptoJet.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, let's go with Lawal next. CryptoJet, we're going to circle back to you because I have a couple more questions around that topic. Lawal, let's hear from you.
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
we can hear
Loud
you.
and clear.
Yeah, I feel honored to be here around team and all of that. My only question is basically one of it has been asked by CryptoJet, but the second one is around the token distribution. Is it more like smart places can also serve as a launchpad? I really want to get more explanation around token distribution.
Sorry, I was just I couldn't hear this. So can you just repeat the last part? Sorry
Uh,
again, but
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
one second, Lawal. I just want to explain to everybody that as speakers, we might have some issues listening to the other speakers. So feel free to have the captions on, just so you can be able to read. Because it might break up. We might think that it breaks up, but it doesn't really break up. So just have the captions on. I'm just telling that for all the speakers up here. It might be easier for you. Lawal, please rephrase your question again.
Okay, yeah. Can you guys hear me now?
yeah, now it's good. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to get some more clarity about the token distribution in the smart place. Is it going to be like a launch pad, or how will that work per se? Like, just want to get some more clarity around that token distribution, all of that.
Yeah, so far as I understood now, sorry, I got you right. We will have an IDO this summer, so in the second year of 2022. So regarding the roadmap, we now start with the land plot sale, but the tokens as a TGE haven't happened so far. But this will be then in regards or together with the IDO, yeah, in the summer, and there happens then of course token distribution. I hope this answers your question.
Along the line, I also want to ask some more questions. Let me give the room for next questions too.
Okay, Hardeep, let's go to you next. And we can circle back to CryptoJet and, whoever. Lawal, if you have more questions, feel free to go again. Just raise your hands and we're going to keep the questions coming. Hardeep, the mic is yours.
Hello guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you. Hi.
So my question basically is whatever I have read about the smart places protocol. So what I understood is that it is more about like we can connect with the people in geographical area which are nearby me. So I was just wondering that if we are talking about say social media platforms where you can contact with any user from all over the world. So would this smart places app will be where you can only contact with the people who are nearby you, or you can, I mean, there will be functionality where you can contact with any person from anywhere in the world. So that's my first question. There was another question, but let's answer this first, please.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thanks for your question. Actually, we have for let's say both challenges or wishes a solution. So we have a two-layer solution. Let's call it that way. So the first layer solution is actually more or less like social media today, right? So you don't have to be directly connected with with somebody directly around you. It's just social media as you know it, but decentralized. That's an important difference. So you can monetize your data, and you are already rewarded if you connect with us, but you don't have to be at the same place. The second layer, this is actually the main core that we just that we mean. And I guess that's also what you mean or meant with your question. So a geolocation-based solution, and that means you have to be at the same place, and then you can connect with others and are rewarded with tokens. So these are two layers. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for the answer.
Thank you for the question.
So if I can ask you one thing, and then we can circle back to CryptoJet and Lawal. I know you guys have more questions. So the next step is the sale of the NFT land plots, and then I'm assuming you will be having your ISPO. And how is that going to look like? Are you gonna partner with some other stake pool operators? Or are you gonna spin up your pools? How is that model gonna look like?
As actually, we haven't defined that so far. As I mentioned, we are focusing now on this land plot and also on the land plot sale, and also on the launch of the app in the summer. The ISPO will be after the sale of the land plots, that's for sure. So we still have some time, and we will come up with more information in this regards, of course. I mean, it's important to be more detailed, but yeah, we will follow up with more information about that.
Sounds good. Thank you. CryptoJet, should we circle back to you? I know you'll have more to ask, and then we can go back to Lawal.
Okay, since we're talking about land plots, there's up to 80,000 NFT land plots. I know we're only going to do 5,000 on the first round, but there's more than 33 billion land plots from my understanding. So what happens to the other plots that aren't part of the 80,000?
Exactly. So we did this intentionally, that we say that we limit the total amount of NFT land plots to 80K. Because on the one hand side, we say that we give the user also the possibility to swap those places at a later stage. So this is the first thing. And the other thing what was worrying us, that the other possibility would be that we split the whole world and have the whole world purchasable via an NFT. But this we didn't wanted to consider, because we say what is a smart place today, a popular space where you might generate some revenues, must not be a smart place or popular space in the next year, you know. And so in this sense, if we would have this the special land plot sold as an NFT, this would lose all those potential, yeah. And so we said, okay, let's do it another way around. Keep those NFTs flexible and having the possibility that they can be swapped. So that we have a long-term value or sustainable value for those NFTs. This was the basic intention, that we would limit this to those 80K. And what happens to all those other places which are not occupied by those NFTs? Well, we leave this to the market, because it's all the market mechanism which then decides the supply and demand. And finally, if there's someone who discovers a location what he considers and which he wants to have occupied with his NFT, then he has the possibility to go to the secondary markets, to those marketplaces, and try to grab one NFT from an existing owner. Yeah.
And also, just to add that, I think it's important to keep in mind that this NFT land plot sale, that's not, it's an important but not the only part of the ecosystem, right? So as we have also the app, which we want that users use them in real life, the land plots are one aspect that combines these both worlds, but it's not the one and only aspect, right? So it's I think it's important to keep this in mind, that we don't want to have just sold land plots, you know.
Okay, so basically, like, you know, once the 80,000 are chosen, because everyone gets to literally choose wherever they want on the entire earth, whatever plot they want. So after that 80,000, are you going to be able to swap to a place that's not listed?
Yeah, you will. Yes, this functionality comes later then, yeah, but this will come, so you will be able to swap your the land plot you have that you are owning you can swap that. Yeah, so you can decide by yourself, and that's what also Hung mentioned. If you decide for yourself now you want to have another smart place because you like another place maybe more than you do it today, or the circumstances changed, then you go ahead and swap. Yeah.
Okay, that answers that question. I appreciate it. I'll open it back up.
Thank you for the question.
Yeah, we definitely have some really nice questions, and I have like a huge list of questions. The more we speak, this is really exciting. That's a definitely really exciting project. I will give the mic to Mr. Wa666, and then Lawal, we're gonna go to you next.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear it. We can hear you. Yeah.
All right, lovely. First of all, I want to say I'm really interested in this project, and my question is very straightforward and very simple. I want to know how this project is going to promote itself and get recognized by people for them to flock over or get into this project. What initiative will be there to incentivize people to come over this project?
First of all, we start in big cities. Yeah, as I said, for example, as the majority of the team is based in Berlin, Germany. We also have made our mind regarding marketing campaigns. Yeah, those can be also boosted when we use like influencers. Yeah, imagine that we have direct contacts to so many mega influencers in Germany, for example, alone. And a mega influencer means that they have more than 1 million followers. And we had many talks in the past regarding whether they would be willing to associate themselves with such a product, yeah, bringing people together. And you can imagine the creativity. There's no limit to this. Yeah, talking to a fitness influencer who offers his services at the park. Making some advertising that he, in order to benefit from his course, you have to use this app in order to connect with other people. But for example, also, and this is always my favorite case, this beach case, for example. Yeah, we have this mega influencer with more than 6 million followers, and we already talked with him and his management. And for him, it's also very charming to use this idea to broadcast some posts and saying, "Hey, I'm a travel influencer. Those are my favorite beaches." And I like the idea that people are enabled now to have a technical solution in order to connect themselves spontaneously, instantaneously, right here, right now, saying, "Hey, who wants to join me and clean the beach?" Yeah, and those messages are then promoted by those influencers. And yeah, you can imagine by yourself how many use cases we have for this. So we have also our Janet, our marketing director, who is responsible for all those marketing campaigns, having access to all those, I think, influencers to creating all those showcases, I call it like this, in order to spread the word about the value and the utility of this mobile application.
And then there's again the land plot sale that helps us a lot in this regards, because we consider the land plot holders and the owners of this land plot as a kind of ambassadors also, because of course these are first of all, these are very early supporters, what we of course appreciate a lot, and would be great if many people buy that. But also they have an interest and are interested in that people interact at their land plots. And so of course this helps us well, because having more people that are focused on bringing people together in real life and using the app, of course helps the project in a short term, but also long term. And so we think these both strategies together, also in regards of the timing that we have now, that we're starting with this virtual aspect, with this land plots as virtual land plots, And then secondly, with the launch of the app, which people then should use in real life, and supported with the aforementioned influencer campaigns, we think we can create a lot of traction.
Thank you. That's actually a really great answer. I didn't expect the answer to be this great. Just build a lot of confidence. The instant I heard all your answers, it built a lot of confidence. Thank you once again, and I want to thank everyone else who's asking really great questions here. That's all from me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the question and the feedback.
Thanks for coming up, Mr. Wah. Lawal, so we circle back to you. Do you have any more questions?
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, if I get you guys correctly, people will be incentivized by interaction and using the platform, right?
Yes, exactly. That's
Yeah, and those incentives will likely come in smarty tokens, right?
exactly.
Yeah. So I just want to get this thing clear. Probably there will be a pool for all of these incentives and these rewards, and since the total supply for the smarty token is it has a limited supply, although it's huge, but eventually it will run out. How is it going to be replenished? I'm just curious to know how that will be replenished in the long time.
Exactly. So you're totally correct. We have a pool for this, what we called in our tokenomics, it's those ecosystem incentives, where we say that we have reserved a certain amount of tokens, which can be distributed to all those contributors to the ecosystem. So it's like a mine with full of tokens, which then are distributed to all those contributors. This is the one thing. At a certain stage, when this whole pool is decreasing and all the rewards are distributed, we are working with this buyback mechanism, where we say that as more people are coming into this ecosystem, the more demand for the tokens we will also have from the business side. This is then the demand side of this whole ecosystem, what we call. And those tokens will be then bought back from those secondary markets. And the buybacks have also the intention to refill this incentive pool. To which regard those pool will be refilled, we have made our mind and saying that together with our governance function, we will also include the community to decide on this, because when this ecosystem evolves and this network is developing, meaning that we use token, which has somehow an inflationary component to this. Yeah, if you distribute tokens to contributors, because of this effect, this inflationary effect, we want to have like a voting system and the governance function to have the community decided to which extent those pools have to be refilled and also be replenished.
And also one other aspect, I don't want to go too much into detail, but it's, I think, also important to see that not all incentives are coming from this pool. So that means, of course, users and the business as well, they can incentivize, and these tokens don't have to come out of this pool. So what Hung said, we have to consider how much decrease we have there, and then we react. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, it does. It does answer the question. And just a shout out to one huge community lead from the team side, Elat. I want to say a big shout out to him. He's doing a great job, and we're happy to have him in the community.
Yeah, we just from our side can. I think Alan is muted. I just can totally agree. Amazing. we are totally happy to have him on board.
Oh yeah, he was the one that actually nudged me and poked me about this project, and I was actually able to take a look at it and invite you guys to actually come on the space. Before we go to Gojov blog, I just want to ask you a question. So I'm the user, the app is out, everything is launched and whatnot. Do I need to have an NFT? Say an NFT land plot so I can be involved in the project, or can I just log in and have my PFP avatar and whatnot and just go on to other NFT plots and whatnot, or do I have to own one to be a part of this?
No, you. This is totally separated from each other. So you can just use the app and go wherever you want and wherever you activate the app, post your needs, interests, whatever you want, and to get in touch with the people around you. So this has in the first stage nothing to do with this land plot, and you don't have to have any kind of NFTs. You just use the app and connect with others, with other people. What I mentioned around you, or even somewhere else, based on these two layers of the app, and you are rewarded with tokens if you interact with others. So that means you maybe like someone, or you receive a like, you send a message, something like that, and all that is incentivized. But that is said requires not to have an NFT or a land plot.
You can imagine that, for example, let's say you have your popular bar in your city right now, where those are mostly crowded locations, where in the future the people are using the app in order to connect with each other. And even though if there's no NFT land plot on this crowded space, all those valuable information are recorded on our decentralized database, and which then can be those data can be then offered to, for example, data consumer if the users are opting for this. So in this regard, this would be the data consumer directly paying these users for disclosing their data. So the benefits then would then be directly distributed to those who opt in for disclosing their information. Of course, when if you as an NFT land plot owner or potential, if you get aware of this opportunity, then you as a smart entrepreneur might want to buy this or to swap your existing NFT to this place, because then you also benefit or participate in those revenue distributions. This is a general idea regarding this. But as Björn said, those two functions are totally separate from each other.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Appreciate your answer. Good job, Block. Let's go to you.
Hi. Firstly, I just wanted to say I'm really excited for Smart Places Protocol, especially
Thank
because
you.
we are doing something very, very similar, and I think healthy competition is only good for the users. But my question is about governance. So I was wondering what your strategy is to prevent bad players from pushing the ecosystem in a way that doesn't help the users, because bad players can be people with like a lot of financial muscle who do not have the best interests of Smart Places Protocol. So how would you plan to like mitigate that?
Yeah, sure. That's an important point. Totally, I agree. So on the one hand, we technically have to make sure that we have no violence causing, threatening, or in general. So this is technically one aspect to make that sure. We secondly, of course, have these usual reporting functionalities in place. So that means if a user detects or sees kind of developments, content or whatever, which might be illegal, he can flag that or report the user. But as I said before, in general, we don't want to moderate the opinions or content in general, because free speech, in our opinion, is important. I mean, in times like today, I think everybody can understand that it's important to not somehow judge things as long as they are part of this free speech. And that's why we have this decentralized cloud services then in place for moderation, and to include then somehow the community to decide about let's say opinions or content which is not easy to classify. But as I said, it's a very important aspect. We had put a lot of focus in that, also me from a legal perspective, to make really sure that trust and the confidence of the users is always ensured.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Thank you for the question.
CryptoJed, do you have any more questions, or Mr. Was666? I'm just circling back to you to make sure that you guys don't have anything else to ask. We covered everything.
On the beach example, right? So you got someone that's walking down the beach, sees a bunch of trash laying around, whatever, and they put out something saying, hey, let's connect to earn, clean up the beach. Where do these Smarty tokens come from?
Yeah, there are actually several possibilities, but this would be, in this case, if you are at the beach at the moment and you decide for yourself to start, I mean, it's maybe the word is too big for that, but the kind of social challenge, you can call it, right? So you say, hey guys, whoever is around here, or maybe not around here, but will come now to this place, let's start this action, let's start this event, and I promise for doing that a part of tokens. And I mean, it depends a bit what kind of, how spontaneous the whole thing is, because of course this can be organized in a way that we say maybe we also include then our pools as well from smart places, or we have supporters in place, or companies maybe that support in this regards. This is a question of organization then, and how spontaneous the whole idea is. But you as a user can incentivize by yourself and can use also your own tokens.
Maybe one glance into our process. We already have talked with airports in Germany, the biggest airports here, saying and asking them whether they want to subsidize people and incentivizing them to share taxis. Yeah, because looking at all those passengers who are always, or at the majority, taking taxi to the center. Why not sharing a taxi when they have the same way? And we were proposing to airports, why don't they want to subsidize those interactions with respective tokens? Yeah, and those are some approaches to the ecosystem, combining those, let's say, the supporter approach, onboarding businesses, and creating what we also call challenges. Connect with persons directly around you, and then you get incentivized and rewarded with tokens. Then.
Okay, so it's based on events. So is the app going to have like an event tab where you can just kind of fill in, hey, this is what I've got going on right now, come join me?
Yeah, finally it goes in this direction. And I mean, we are very early, so we have to be flexible at that point. But we want to have a voting system where not only users can vote, but get their own suggestions voted on. But as you mentioned, that will be that way.
So there would be like an event tab, or I mean, I'm trying to figure out how do you is it just you just post it like you do on Twitter? Hey, I'm doing this, and then you incentivize it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's these details, like have you a button, or is it more like going on the website somehow maybe, and have on the platform some functionalities? These are details. That's what I mean. We have to be flexible at that point how we do this. It also depends on a bit what the user's feedback also will be. Of course, we test there a lot. But finally, it will be the point that we said, that the users can decide, and however it will be technically solved. Finally, the users can then say, I put a small pool of my pools, or maybe of some friends together, and say, it's 1,000 tokens for the guys who helps right now.
Gotcha. Okay, that answers it. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
So just to do a nice recap here, you've already done the strategic partnerships. You're closing to the phase that now we will have the NFT land plots sale, and later down the road we're going to have an ISPO. And I see here that it says on your roadmap integration with the ID wallet. Will that have like a Tala Prism? Like, is that going to be with a Tala Prism? How are you going to do that? How am I going to be able to have my ID wallet connected to the app?
Yeah. So regarding the ID wallet, we are talking our strategic partner IMX, which we are totally proud of having them on board. We really love this project and the competence of this team. Also close friends. So we will implement their ID wallet. So that allows, I mean, there are a lot of factors, but to keep this short here, in the first step, including implementing the one-click solution. So that means this ID wallet that they offer allows a quick sign-on process on our app. That's basically one of the first steps that will happen there. And yeah, as in regards of ID of the ID wallet, we are talking with our strategic partner IMX.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. And another question regarding the mobile app, is that gonna look like am I gonna have my own avatar and I'm just gonna be kind of, I don't know, is it gonna be like a metaverse style, or is it gonna be like a social media platform style? How is that gonna look like?
Yeah, we had like 100 different iterations on the design, but very in short, me as a user, if I want to connect with another guy spontaneously right here, right now, I don't want to have a profile where I need half a day to set my profile and so on. So the idea was that, like Shazam, yeah, just press the big button and then you come to the solution, yeah. And those our solution is similar. We have the Polaroid style. I don't know whether you know this frame from this Polaroid, but our idea is that you just have on the front side of the Polaroid a picture of your choice. You can broadcast, and on the back side you can put any message you want to be broadcasted, and that's it. And then you put on OK, and then your Polaroid is then broadcasted to your to the world. So this Polaroid will also be online for only 60 minutes in order to have accurate and updated information, which is posted on in this network. And you can cancel your post anytime you want. So you are only online how you decide when you want to be online. So imagine that you have an application like Shazam, very easy to understand, no long onboarding process. Just choose your picture, put a message, that's it, broadcast, and go for socializing.
So it will be like a VR world kind of thing, with having my avatar and just browsing through everything and going through the other businesses and whatnot and finding challenges. Is this how it's going to be? I'm just trying to wrap my head around this. Sorry if I ask some quote unquote stupid questions here. Just want to make sure I have a clear picture.
Yeah, no, it's totally fine. Indeed, we will publish some UI and design in the next week. So talking about design is somehow difficult, but we will definitely show and display how our concept is built. And always what we have in mind is that the onboarding process has always to be very simple for the normal user, because always when it comes to a new application, then user doesn't want to think how it works. So the beautifulness, the beauty of our app is the simplicity and the easiness how users can onboard. So talking about pictures and visualizations, we would ask you to wait like 1 or 2 weeks, and then those visualizations we will publish on our social medias.
But also maybe to because when I got you right, or the other way around, I think what you can imagine is using the app is a bit like having a small bubble above your head, right? You can make your thoughts and needs visible. That's the point. So in the layer 2. So if you want to connect with others directly around you, you make your thoughts and needs visible, and that's the same like having this bubble above your head. And the same goes for the people around you. So that's why you are then enabled to see what other people think. Also if they want to publish that, you know, what they feel or what they need. And that is, in our opinion, quite unique, because until today, I mean, we have so many technologies in place, right? And great solutions like connecting with someone on the other side of the world, right? But to get in touch with someone who's directly around you, actually not that easy. And so we always use this example to make more clear how this works.
So when you're using the app, will you be able to actually like see the location of other people that are using the app right around you?
Also you see what the people around you posted in the last 60 minutes, right? That's the point. You see what what thoughts and needs they have made visible for you, and because they posted it.
Okay, so it'd be like a little pop-up that just pops up on the screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But as Hung said, we will come up very soon with some more examples. So then, and also of course video clips and so on. So then you will be able to directly see what we mean. Because now to just explain, you know, it's was not that easy. Finally, you need to use the app, or if it's not there so far, then have some pictures and videos to see how it works.
Yeah, that would be really amazing. I don't know, for some reason, since our conversation started here, all I have in my head is having my avatar like we had in the Cardano Summit, the online Cardano Summit last year. All I have in my head is this, and you know, browsing around other people's plots and businesses and whatnot. But yeah, I'm really eager to find out how the visuals are going to look like. That's pretty exciting for sure. Having decentralized social media coming on Cardano, it's definitely something that I don't think we've seen it from any other blockchain yet. How did you bring all the team together and started all this? I'm pretty sure that it was a crazy idea when, you know, 2.5 years ago. How does it feel to actually being in the close to the launch of the app and whatnot?
Sorry, can I just jump back one, because you mentioned excited. You said regarding the avatar you have in mind, right? Because all I want to say is in this regards, when we go out with the land plot website and make it then enable people then to buy these plots, then just please keep in mind what you said, and then just see what happens, because I don't want to promise that much, but people of course will be enabled to also customize things there and then plots there. And I think this maybe it's not directly what you just mentioned, but it somehow goes in this direction. And so I just want to say, stay excited, please. And in some weeks when we have the website available for our users, and just have then just make your mind what you think about what you see then there.
Yeah, I'll throw that question because I see Victor over here, which is one of our delegators and the magician behind all the visuals and everything else that you see from my pool. Are we going to be able to have a chef pool restaurant on smart platform, smart protocol,
Yeah.
smart places?
Yeah, great idea. I mean, the question would be, first of all, I think one of former audios that you are located in Vancouver. So basically, Vancouver would be available, but of course, it depends a bit many or users try to buy there something, and if the location is very important for you, maybe you have another smart place in mind which you would like to have. But yeah, in general, would be nice. Would be great to have you there.
Maybe coming back to the question how the idea evolves and so on. So as we are based here in Berlin, Germany, which is also like a blockchain hub and like a startup hub for many European and young people. We have many IT companies here, like who are scaling many businesses to the whole world. Yeah, and during this whole process, we were talking with so many people and getting connected to crucial and significant personalities in this business. So we were able also to talk with some founder of an app, which was starting in Germany and then scaled within a short period of time in Asia and the States, making it to a 100 million business within 1 year. So those networks and those persons we have already had so many talks with. And finally, regarding the team member selection, we were always thinking that the more different the competences are, the more bring value to us. So, for example, we have people in our team who don't have anything to do with crypto, for example. They have very good network to the top clubs in Europe, for example, and to all those popular bars, and spreading those information that there will be an app which can also promote their businesses, yeah, and educating them on this whole token thing. So this was very important for us to do all this work beforehand in order to present our whole ecosystem to now to the public, because our main focus is always to build something sustainable, which can be built on a very large scale and which has to be there for several years.
Yeah, and what all these team members have in common, and that's really was totally important for us and absolutely crucial, is that they all share this kind of vision. So it's not money driven or something, but it's really like Hung said, really creating something sustainable and what really helps the society. And we are totally convinced that we do this because these instant socializing and this real life interactions of people, we are totally convinced, and the whole team, that that is something that the society, especially in times like today, where we have that many problems, that really brings us further. We all, and that's really amazing to see that the whole team, and we see it now also in the community with on Discord on our channel, that there are so many people who are excited about the project because they see and recognize this vision. And that there is a solution in place that also transports, especially as exactly that. And yeah, and that's why we are so proud to have this team together, because, like Hung said, they not only have the competences and network and experience, but also this the same mindset. And so we are very confident to have the right persons at the right place.
Yeah, that's definitely good to have a really diversified team with all those skills and backgrounds. And if I may ask you regarding the governance part, I know that you will have you'll issue the tokens through an ISPO that you don't really have a clear view right now, so you can tell us how this model will work. But is there going to be? I know that we asked that question, but what are we going to be able to vote on regarding the governance side of things? What are the actions that we as token holders could actually either propose on or vote on? And how is that going to look like? Let's say around fall Q3 of 2022, after the app is launched and whatnot. How is that experience going to look like?
Yeah, so that's what we are planning. And we're planning a DAO, and that makes it possible for users to vote on different decisions before we implement them. And as you said, our long-term goal is to make users able to put out proposals. And if these get enough upvotes, they could be voted on and get implemented. That's really.
I mean, the first thing what comes into our mind regarding governance voting is regarding the reward pool. Yeah, because we see that this ecosystem incentives, which are distributed to all those activity, all those contributors to this ecosystem, this has this inflationary pressure on the token price. Yeah, because those tokens come into the market, the circulating supply increases, and thus we have a pressure on the price. And at a certain point, when we reach like 1 million users, and this is to be decided then in the development phase, when we have reached a crucial amount of users that we don't need those incentives anymore to reward people when they contribute to the system, because it's always in social media or in such platforms. If you have reached a certain amount of users, then it attracts other users, which will then or might want to contribute without being rewarded with tokens. So the governance function or the voting system on this decision would be: do we want to what do we want to have the money used for, the revenues? Do we want to have this used for replenishing the reward pool, to fill this up, and or to which extent? Or do we want to use the revenues, for example, for other purposes, like expanding more functions in this system? Because we also have this long-term project also to have this identity, which can be used in the metaverse, but this is a very long-term project. But in fact, the voting would be also on those revenues, which will come to the ecosystem for what this will be used for. But in the first stage, I think the first significant decision would be on the reward pool when this is diminished, to which extent we want this to be refilled.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you so much for all the answers that you've given us, and all the patience that you have with us. I'm just gonna circle back to CryptoJet and Gods of Block if you guys have any more questions, or anybody else from the audience. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to request to be a speaker. This is why we have this Twitter space today, to make sure that we answer any questions that anyone might have. I'm just gonna go to CryptoJet and Gods of Block and see if you guys have anything else to ask or to add. Yep.
Okay, so once you're a land plot owner, you have the NFT, whatever. What can you do as the owner of that land plot to incentivize the businesses to use the application?
You mean now directly from the start, before the app?
Well, that and when it's actually launched, both of them, really.
I mean, what's of course an opportunity, and I think one of the essential elements ads, of course. So the business, for example, as a local business, right? You can, as a land plot holder, you can promote on the one hand by yourself, but also from outside, you can target the land plots in order to reach the users of the app with your ads. So that means, especially, for example, in a mall or other places, a restaurant, whatever, you can target the users with the app, with the ad that is for you important, and that also can include a kind of incentivization that's then up to you, but directly inform users about current offers, for example, things like that. So this is, of course, this requires the app in place then. But from that point on, there are various opportunities then to target users and potential customers.
Okay, so once the app's launched, and say that I got a land plot and it's got a bunch of restaurants in it or something like that, what can I do with that restaurant to get them to participate on the app or participate in smart places?
There's no limit in creativity, but I can imagine all the talks what we have now with our businesses to whom we talk to, that we say, hey, at a certain point, you will, when our ecosystem evolves, you have to pay. You have to buy our tokens, which you then can distribute to those users you want to target. But at the beginning or at the initial stage, our thoughts would be that we, out of our ecosystem incentives, that we give them a certain amount of tokens, which they can use, like, let's say, as airdrops or for free, in order to get used to this whole system. So this would be this is one approach, that we give them some tokens in order to see how this whole system works, and this very initial stage would be then for free.
Okay, got it.
I have a basic question. So are you folk looking at Web3 wallet connections, as in the user needs to have a Cardano wallet to connect to the app, or would it be more like a Web2 based email login?
Yeah, thanks for letting me up on the stage there.
Pardon?
Sorry again? Sorry?
Thank you for letting me on the stage.
Sorry, I think we got another question before.
Would you like me to repeat the question?
Yeah, that would be great, because
Got it. So I was just curious if users need to have a Cardano wallet, specifically like a extension-based wallet, to connect to the platform, Smart Places platform, or would it be more like a email-based Web2 login to be able to use the protocol?
Yeah, the last one, but we are not working with email. We're just working with a phone number. Yes, so because you don't need to have a wallet in the very beginning in order to use the app, because our app is, as we said, a real-world use case, and also targeting all those non-crypto users. Yeah, so they just have to or can sign up with their phone number, and then start using the application. And at a certain point, when they are willing to invest the time to install the wallet, they can always have the option to do this. And also, we will send in certain time periods recommendations that saying, hey, you have collected like 1 million points. Do you consider to set up a wallet, a crypto wallet, in order to convert these points to the real Smarty tokens? Yeah. So this is the approach, considering that we will onboard so many non-crypto users to our platform, and to enable this seamless approach that they can use the platform without a wallet, very crucial for us in the beginning. Yeah, so the integration of the wallet will then be at a later stage, which is then be decided by the user.
So are all the wallets going to be integrated, like Cardano-based wallets? I would assume only.
Yes, Cardano wallet, that's included, also integrated.
Perfect. That's awesome. Thank you for the answer. Gods of Blog, do you have any other follow-up question, or can we go to Jimmy next?
Oh, that's it for me. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for the question.
Jimmy, go ahead. Thanks for coming up.
Yeah, I don't really get the point of this project, to be honest. I know it sounds kind of harsh, but you reward people for real life situations, but you how would you know what is a real life situation? And furthermore, in the metaverse, you have your partners listed on your website. Some of these partners have like 100 people on Discord. I don't really understand what community you're referring to or onboarding non-crypto users. What's your business strategy and marketing plan for that?
I mean, when I'm talking from my personal experience, yeah, there are so many situations in real life where I want to connect with other people, let's say, yeah, and there are so many use cases which we presented before.
Such as?
Yeah.
Such as?
Such as? Okay, yeah, saying, let's imagine you are in the park, yeah, and spontaneously, you are 3 people and spontaneously have the idea to play soccer. And despite that, there are hundreds of people directly around you, and it's not so usual that you address every people and asking them whether they want to join the soccer game. Yeah. So we think this is very. It's a pity that you don't see the interest of other people. And if you would see the interest of other people, it would save you so much time and would add so much utility that you can connect with them. So the objective function, when we call it like this, the objective function of our token is to maximize the supply of relevant environments to connect with other peoples in real life, and that is smart places. Meaning, when you post yourself at home at your couch, yeah, then the probability that you connect with other people is very low. So you can use also Instagram and stay at Facebook and so on. We want people
Ever heard
to
of meetups.com?
Pardon?
Meetups.com.
Jimmy, if I may interrupt the conversation
Wait,
here.
I'm allowed to ask questions. I mean, like he's asking essentially for community
Let
involvement, eventually buying the
Jimmy,
token, right?
Jimmy, let me finish. I just wanted to tell you, feel free to raise your hand. So by the
I
time
did raise my hand.
they finish answering your question, you can ask another one. That's all I'm trying to say. Try to be respectful. I was actually in the Cinnamon Buns Twitter space last night, and I heard all of the conversation with you and whatnot. So all I'm trying to ask you is just raise your hand so you can do your follow-up question. We do
There
appreciate
you go.
all your questions and everything else. So let's just try to be respectful to the project that we have on, and they're trying to explain what they're working on. Thank you very much. So Bjorn, Hank, please finish your answer, and then Jimmy can go again with the next question that he has.
Yeah, I think I think Hung made his point because what we don't think it's really helps in this regards is to post at the couch from home, because that's not what we are intending to do. People go out and they connect with other people outside, then they already then their social interactions happened, and people came together, have real life experience, and that is good. That's the one thing. And the second point, of course, is the data monetization, right? So in opposite to the other social media solutions that are in place, users are enabled to monetize their data. So it's not like on Facebook. I mean, nothing against Facebook gets on this point, because if users want to use it, it's fine. But what we enable is that the user decides by himself whether he wants to opt in for that or not, and if he does, then he is monetizing his data. That is the value behind that. So we are talking about.
From what I understand, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Can I reply now?
Yeah.
So the following usually is true of most successful startups. You can explain your idea within three sentences. You failed to do that, but let me ask you something else. So meetups.com is a very large platform in addition to plenty of other social networking platforms. The difference between you and them is that you're decentralized in some way, although it's unclear exactly how. The difference also is that you can offer rewards for people who use your platform and organize events, and they get rewarded in your token. And then because of that data, I guess somehow it's on your phone and you move around or something like that. There's some data monetization potential. But like, I think the important part is it takes a lot of marketing for adoption to occur. And I guess you believe that just because you have a token in a community, that adoption would occur. But if you do believe it's a data monetization issue, you would have to have what we call like a burn ratio, whereby for every $1 you burn in cash, you find 3 or 4, 10 people that actively use your platform, and obviously a good portion of them drop using the platform and stop using it, so then they have to replace those users. But I didn't really hear very much on your presentation about that. You just say you're building the technology for it, but technology that no one's using is just nothing, to be honest. So can you explain your marketing strategy as I asked you before?
Yeah, but as said, you mean the marketing regarding live?
Marketing regarding obtaining users. This is essentially
Okay,
business
because
consumer platform. So yeah.
Because that's what I meant. I don't know if you have followed the conversations from the beginning, because what we already said right now is that we have this land plot sale in place. So that is for us also a kind of ambassador function that the users and the land plot holders will have, and they.
Let's see how that has anything to do with
Sorry,
business to consumer. I think I'm just going to give up. I don't think land plots have anything to do with people playing soccer or anything that you need to do to acquire millions of users in the future. If you're trying to get Cardano users, maybe there's a strategy there, but you didn't mention it. I'm not sure offering NFT land plots will get the cash burn ratio you need to obtain some kind of, I guess, critical mass of users. I don't think that's very possible, and I don't think you could find me a previous example of that ever happening. But it was interesting to listen to you. I still don't get the project, but thank you.
Yeah, so just some few words to that. I mean, of course, everybody has some opinion. What we have said, like the influencer campaign that we will start, that will create a lot of attention. That's our opinion. And secondly, as we are partnering with IMX, they will launch in 40 countries within this year. We are very confident that we will reach a lot of users with that. And that combined with the land plot sale, we actually, as mentioned, we are quite confident that we will have a lot of users then finally. We also think that the people are aware of the benefits that are coming together with this project and the app and the whole ecosystem. And yes, of course, data monetization is one aspect. It's not the only one, but it is one from our perspective very important aspect. Not only because it's a benefit for the users, but also because it's more fair. Because users see, and we are actually quite confident that they will see, that if they use this system here, then they are not paying, let's say, Facebook or Instagram with their data. They benefit for themselves and with an ecosystem that creates another solution than we have right now. And yeah, that's it.
So I just want to say really quick, Jimmy, I hear all your rebuttals and everything else that you have. Just keep in mind, and I'll say that from last night as well. Always keep in mind the way that you communicate things and the way that you ask things goes a long way. It's really important that you give the opportunity and the chance for the people that we have on to actually answer the questions and without being criticizing them at the same time. They're here to actually answer all the questions that the community has, and they have been doing so for very well for the last an hour and a half. So if you don't like their answers, that's totally okay with everybody here. I actually feel that their answers are very, very thoughtful and they've been giving us a lot of information all this time. So thank you so much for your input and your questions here. Let's go to Ivu Dream. I hope I said that correctly. Thank you for your patience with us.
Hi, that's fine. Thank you. Hi, guys. So, hi, guys. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
All right, I'm fine. So I'm just joining to the call. Maybe in the last part, I really believe that that these have some kind of potential in the future for sure. And as all the other social media in the world, at the beginning they were something weird that people maybe didn't understand at the beginning, but then it turned, for example, into a Facebook, for example, to give you an example. But in my head and I feel that perhaps you have something that there's nothing over here in the blockchain world. And if I may ask you, and maybe doing that comparison between Facebook things and what we can do with you guys in the blockchain universe, how it's going to be treated, because for me the most frustrating thing here in the social media is my privacy of my data. And to be honest, I really would be part of this, but if only I'm sure that my privacy things are going to be very safe and protected, because we're talking about blockchain thing. Just that. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. It's an amazing question, because when I imagine whether I would use my smart place application, I would have also those priorities. If I want to connect with other people, and if I broadcast my thoughts and ideas, I don't want that those information are stored on a centralized storage and maybe are used against me at in a future time. So this is what is very important for me when I say, okay, if I use the Smart Place mobile application in order to connect others, I want to be the owner of my data and have the whole sovereignty of those. So, and this is where we put much emphasis on this, that people, for example, let's say it's a dating case and I'm looking for to find the right partner, or I'm at the bar and I'm not daring to talk to this woman, but I broadcast this post and saying that I'm willing to approach her, but I'm not daring, I don't want that those information then are used against me, because those data are collected in a centralized manner. Yeah. And this is what we have the total focus on.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, sorry. Just I think it's a side aspect, but maybe also to add that as the posts are only active for the 60 minutes, also part of that idea that you not like it's today in most of the social media systems, that whatever you post and activate is visible in the whole world and for many times, maybe until you delete it. And we don't want this in this regards if you don't want it. So you just post your ideas, needs, whatever, and after 60 minutes they are deleted. So just also add that.
All right. Very clear. Thank you for the explanation, guys.
Thank you
so much. I will dream.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for your question, I would dream. Let's go to CNFT Protege next. I just want to let everybody know we are running an hour and 40 minutes now. We have about 20 minutes to go. So if there's anybody that would like to ask any questions, feel free to request to be a speaker, and we'll get you up here as long as we have a nice and constructive conversation here with nice manners. CNFT Protege, let's go to you. Thank you for coming up.
Thank you for letting me up, and I will use my time respectfully. It's not necessarily that I have any question, it's more of a compliment to Smart Places as well, Chef, as well the other speakers up here for handling what they just experienced. It's more of a PSA. Ginny was just in the Stoners Club and other spaces and is known to FUD, and then secretly, through knowing our language, ask and then shill ETH and or XRP or other blockchains. So do not take it personal. Those were not healthy questions to grow you, but I do believe in healthy, competitive, objectively, well-placed questions to grow us, but those were not that. So this is more of a PSA that whole little incident was experienced in previous spaces, and just be aware that Jimmy is not wrong for bringing up aspects of other chains, but at the same time, don't tear down, like, using words of, I will not buy, I will not get into it. You can help grow it and make it better through your comments, right? And anyways, to digress on this, to wean down from that issue, I again compliment Smart Places and Chef and the others up here for handling it beautifully. We have all already done our research. That's why we are here, not on YouTube or on exchanges. We're here on Twitter Spaces, listening and or speaking, interacting with our community. And this is why I'm here. I love you all. I appreciate you all. And I will continue to listen authentically, intently, with good vibes. Okay, thank you. Bye.
It was an accident for muting you. I'm so sorry about that. I just wanted to
No.
hit that emoji.
It's good. It's good. I was wrapping up, and also sometimes you just need to cut me off. I'm so happy that you guys handled it so professionally.
I just wanna do a follow up on this. The Twitter Spaces, and especially this one, the ones that I'm hosting, anyways, they are platforms for everybody to come on and give their opinion. Either that would be a project that would like to talk to us about, what they're doing, what they're building, and what's coming up, or if there's somebody from the community that would like to ask any questions, give us constructive feedback, and things that we can work on. But unfortunately, coming across like that doesn't really give anything to the conversation, anything positive at least. So trying to be respectful to somebody that actually comes on and gives their time, and never knows what kind of questions will be asked on. I think we need to give the kudos to them. Smart Places, Bjorn, Hang, and the whole team behind you. Please keep working hard like you do. Keep being transparent like you do, and we're right there behind you, looking at you and applauding you on what you do. With that being said, we still have 15 more minutes. Gods of Block, the mic is yours.
Hi. So I just had like a follow-up question for Evu Dream. I was just curious about what kind of security concerns do you have in mind? If you're specifically speaking about the contents of your wallet, they're already on-chain. So I would think everyone has access to them already. So other than that, what concerns did you have?
All right. Can you hear me now?
I can hear
Hello?
you, yes.
All right. Sorry. So that's a very good question, but my concern is not about. I also understood that your doubts about saying the thing that okay, I'm using my wallet and perhaps no one knows who I am. But my point is like if we're talking about social media, and I'm in that social media doing whatever as Facebook used to do, like selling my media or my data to everybody, third party or fourth party or governments and whatever. And at the end, that's that's the full business for Facebook, selling your data, period. That's it. So I assuming that if we're talking about a decentralized world right now offering by blockchain, and that okay, you can use my data if you want to sell it, fine. So give my part to myself if I can say it that way, or just because at the end of the day you're going to connect people, that's fine. I'm going to get my rewards, that's also fine. But also you're going to have some business behind, like for example you're going to have these bars offering me whatever because I submit to have some information or I don't know, publicity or whatever. That's fine. But my privacy thing is about okay, if I give you the authorization about using my data for some of these situations, that's fine. But if you are going to receive any money for that thing, I don't know if you are also going to use my personal data to make yourself involved. sense from. I don't know if you get my point.
I do, and if I may, this is not my place, but can I answer that question for smart places, if it's okay with you guys?
Yeah, if Bjorn and Hang are okay with that, by all means.
Okay. So from what I understood, smart places gives you the option to either give your data out or not, as in collect your data or not. And if your data is collected and monetized, you get a share of it. If that makes sense. Does that answer your question?
Totally. It's clear. Thank
Okay,
you very
sounds good.
much.
Yeah, so we have 15 more minutes. I just want to make sure that we get everybody's questions answered. So if there's anybody else in our audience that would like to ask any questions, feel free to request to be a speaker. We'll get you up here. Bjorn, Hang, is there anything that you feel that you haven't covered or you haven't shared with us and you would like to? The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Actually, I would just like to because I was muted. I just realized right now. And
sorry about that.
I see. I thought. Okay, no. I just would like to comment these last two aspects. First of all, thank you so much for the feedback regarding the discussions we had before. We totally agree. Having another opinion, absolutely, totally fine, of course. And I also agree that. It's also good to have opinion which goes in a totally different direction, because of course it prepares us for discussions with people who will maybe never be convinced, which is fine, of course, but often it helps to prepare for also that. That's one aspect. And regarding the last questions of Evo Dream regarding this data privacy, also I just would like to add, we have a lot of put a lot of emphasis on that, because in general, of course, considering and having data privacy in place is for us absolutely important. So GDPR, I mean, this is my personal background, that we are compliant in this regard. There's no doubt about it. But the good thing as well is on Plus that we have a business model in place, which also creates an environment where we as smart places also don't need and want revenues made by selling data. As I mean, the one thing that we don't want it, and that we don't plan to do it, but it also makes no sense. The whole business model is made for letting the community and the users benefit from that. And so we have these both aspects. We have a business model that are focused on data monetization in favor of the users. And secondly, just as a base, the private data privacy, especially in regards of GDPR. So just to clarify that.
Thank you for the information.
Yeah, thank you.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Bjorn, Hang, any last words? Anything that we should all be looking for the next weeks? If you can just give us a final recap of the things that you're building and the things that we should all be looking for the next couple weeks or few weeks, actually.
Yeah, you name it. Few weeks for us would be great. If maybe starting with that. Thank you very much for these great questions and discussions. We will come up with further information the next weeks then. As said, middle of April, at the latest end of April, having this land plot sale, but also before, we will publish details regarding the app. We will, of course, publish the website where users then can buy the land plots. And so what we just recommend is, like it's already happened, just taking part on the discussions on Discord. That's our main community channel. We nearly daily we come up with some interesting ideas, also proposals and visualization. So yeah, I just hope that you stay part of this project, and we also would love to have feedback from you. You also can contact us directly. We would like to have a further conversation with all of you guys, because we really appreciate all your opinions. And as we said, it's a community project, so we try to also develop the project in a manner that most of our users also wish like it goes.
Perfect. That's amazing. I'm just gonna ask our speakers up here if you guys have any last questions, anything else that you would like to ask Smart Places, or if we can end our space here. I guess you're good. Perfect. All right. Bjorn, Hang, I just want to, again, for the last time, say a big thank you for coming on and being with us for the last couple hours, answering all the questions that we have. And thank you for keeping your cool and, being patient with all of us here. And again, thank you for everybody here in the audience and all of our speakers that came on and asked these amazing questions. Even if sometimes it might get out of control a little bit, I think we were all mature enough to actually make it all a nice and civilized conversation. Again, if anybody else would like to add anything else, we got a couple minutes to go. But from my end, I just want to thank Bjorn and Hang for being with us and being patient with us and answering all of the questions that we had. Really excited to hear more from you on the next upcoming weeks. We'll be waiting.
Yes, thank you so much for having us. We're really enjoying this, and to be honest, it was our first Twitter space, I think, and we're very proud to have this started with you, Theodore. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak and to present our project.
Yeah, I totally agree. Thank you very much.
Thank you all for joining us. We will have the recording up on our YouTube channel as well in the next coming days. Again, thank you for joining us, and we will be looking forward for the next updates from Smart Places. Have a good day, a good night, wherever you are in the world, and we'll see you soon. Take care, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.